So I have to answer in.
Good afternoon, friends. This is Sanjay Agrawal. So I'm here at the IFACS gallery. So we have an exhibition here. This is about the Dalai Lama, the 14th Dalai Lama. So we have the gentleman who's put up this exhibition, Mr. Vijay Kranti. He's also a photographer, and he'll talk more about how he got into meeting the Dalai Lama first time, because this is his exhibition takes you over 50 years. And we are celebrating Dalai Lama's 90th birthday. So welcome, Vijayji. Please introduce yourself and tell us about this journey, sir.
I am Vijay Kranti. I am a journalist. Mainly, I am a writer journalist.
Right,
But
sir.
I am also a photographer. For last about 53 years, I am focusing on Tibet and China, quite specifically. Otherwise, I have been a journalist for last 55 years. So my first introduction to Tibet was in 1972 when a news magazine assigned me to get an interview with Dalai Lama and to write about the Tibetan refugee community, their lifestyle, their struggle, their aspirations, what they have achieved. So that was the beginning, and that's how I started.
Wonderful. And so now in India, as I know, we've been students from the University of Delhi. So we have a lot of students going to that Tibetan place, monasteries,
Yeah.
which is in Delhi itself,
Yeah,
near the
Manipur,
Kashmiri
Kashmir.
Gate.
Yeah.
So you must have been there as well.
There are two places. One is Kashmiri Gate, that is the Ladakh Bodh Vihar.
Okay.
And then is Majnu Ka Tila, which is the Tibetan refugees.
So what is the
settlement.
difference between the two? Is it the people?
The similarity is that both are Buddhist communities.
Right, sir.
But the Ladakh Bodh Vihar near ISBT Kashmiri
Yes,
Gate,
yes.
that belongs to Ladakh.
Okay.
At that time it was Jammu and Kashmir part.
Right.
And whereas Majnu Ka Tila
It's
is
from-
a settlement of Tibetan refugees.
Refugees. Wonderful, sir. So we will, I think, move around, sir. Please
Okay.
come, sir.
Right.
We'll show, and if you would like to tell us each picture,
Yeah.
about if you want to tell us specifically, I think this is जहाँ पे वो हम लोग उनको एक पूजा के उसमें देख रहे हैं.
Yeah, this is a portrait, a camera study of Dalai Lama.
Yes, sir.
And this happened in at Rajghat,
Rajghat, right.
where he had gone to pay tribute along with some other leaders. And this scarf which you are seeing is on the 4th of July when my photo exhibition was inaugurated.
Right, sir.
Then we had in our audience the presence of His Eminence Kunsang Dorji Rinpoche, a very senior Tibetan monk.
Yes, yes.
So he paid his tribute in
By
the
putting this
traditional way by
traditional
putting
way.
this scarf
Lovely.
on the photo of Dalai Lama.
Beautiful. And so if you could talk about this work, sir.
This particular photo is, that was a great privilege when His Holiness the Dalai Lama invited me to his private house in McLeodganj in Dharamsala for a photo shoot. And this is when he was meditating. I stayed there for quite a few hours to see many of his activities. And this is the time when he is meditating in his private room.
And this is about quite a few decades old. How many years would this be?
Yeah, this photo I took in 1990, which means it is 35
Yeah, 35 years. It's
Yeah.
giving that aura, that ambience. Lovely, sir. We'll move the side, sir. How do you feel?
Yeah, wherever you feel
Yes,
it is
sir.
interesting, I
Yes,
will
sir.
explain.
So we're just taking you along the gallery. This exhibition is here from the 4th of July till the 10th of July. IFACS is situated at Rafi Marg. So everybody can come by the metro. This seems to be very nice paintings, sir.
Yeah, this
This is a photograph.
this photo I took it at Sarnath
Oh,
when Dalai Lama was there to give Kalachakra teachings. So at one stage he was sitting in front of the Kalachakra Thanka, which was a huge painting made of embroidery, which is quite colorful. And normally the real mandala is of sand, and this is I would say the replica
Made in embroidery.
with
This
embroidery,
mandala,
which is
very
very
nice.
delicate kind of
Yes,
work.
yes.
So this was quite a unique picture which I could take. Dalai Lama with his thunderbolt in his hand, and the bell also, Durje also.
Yes. I just was curious. We'll come this side, sir. What languages? I think he knows a lot of languages. The Dalai Lama per
Dalai
se.
Lama speaks normally two languages.
Two languages.
One is the Tibetan, and the other is English. So he communicates in these two languages.
Right. And which is the मैं उससे भाषा जो उधर बोलते हैं लद्दाख में या तिब्बत में? What
In Tibet, the Tibetan language is
different?
Same as what is it in Ladakh.
Right.
It's basically it is called Bhoti.
Okay.
Bhoti language, and in Tibetan, most of the scripts, the Buddhist scripts, are in Tibetan, which were translated from original Sanskrit from Nalanda, and then they have their own interpretations and
Right.
translations, etc.
Lovely. So we'll come this side, sir. Please.
So
This
here-
is again a beautiful picture.
This is one of my unique pictures which I took in 1980.
This is what do you call that? Yak?
Yeah, this animal is called yak.
Yak, yes.
It's this picture is in the Zanskar Valley of Ladakh, and it was in 1980 when Dalai Lama visited there.
Right.
And I had the privilege of traveling with him for 1 month as his photographer. So in Zanskar Valley's Padum, where the teachings were happening, from there one day he was supposed to go to Stongde Monastery, which is quite distant, and moreover, a good part of this distance is a steep,
Yes.
high, because the monastery is quite very high in a mountain. So the locals had organized a yak for him. Yak has one great advantage. One is that it has a great, it can survive in very low temperatures in the snow. Then it is a very sturdy animal. It can carry a lot of weight, and especially when it moves along very rough terrains, going up and down the mountain.
We see a lot of pebble, stone on the floor.
So it's very sturdy, and especially for riding, it gives a very soothing, very smooth ride.
So this was a great experience you had, sir. Lovely.
So here you see Dalai Lama in the Padum area where he is walking through a water stream.
Yes, yes. Beautiful.
He was quite young at that.
Yes, looks, it appears. I have couple of occasions we met him at that, what is that, Teen Murti earlier. He has been there. Lovely. This is, I think he's having some
He's
food.
having his traditional thampa food,
Yes.
which is barley wheat. The barley
Yes.
is the ground barley and other things he's eating.
Yeah, he's having
That is the staple food in Tibet.
Tibet.
And here in
He's addressing
Sarna,
his-
he is meeting a group of people in an informal meeting. Can I come in?
Yes, sir, please. So, friends, नहीं सर थोड़ा अपना परिचय देंगे, please.
कुलभूषण
कुलभूषण जी, तो कुलभूषण जी today he is one of the visitors, I would say, जो विजय क्रांति जी की एग्जीबिशन देखने आए हैं. तो आपको कैसा लगा? You were, I think मैं देख रहा था, बड़े engrossed थे. तो how did you find this photographs?
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. इन्होंने अपने ज़िंदगी के कई साल इस एग्जीबिशन के लिए, इस काम के लिए,
Yes.
तिब्बती पीपल के लिए लगाए हैं, दुनिया को बता रहे हैं. उसके लिए इनका धन्यवाद
आपका
भी
खुद का
करना चाहिए.
परिचय दलाई लामा से आपकी कभी मुलाकात
नहीं,
या आप कोई फंक्शन में उनका?
मैं नहीं कभी गया.
अभी आपकी इच्छा हो रही होगी कि आई शुड ऑल्सो अटेंड.
अब होती है कि इन्होंने
Yes.
क्या क्या किया, कम से कम वो तो पता करूँ. तो
Beautiful.
बिल्कुल करूँगा. और
Right.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा.
आपका परिचय आप देना चाहें?
मैं गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट था,
Government servant. You've retired now.
रिटायर्ड।
But you're active like everybody else. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपको देख के इधर. And I think आप अपने family और friends को लेके जरूर रहिएगा. अभी तो है टाइम, 3 दिन बचे हैं, 8, 9, 10.
अगर फ्रेंड्स आएंगे तो
हाँ,
जरूर
मैं
लेके
आपको ये
आऊंगा।
वीडियो भेजूंगा आपको फ़ोन पे, फिर आप उनको भेजेंगे, देन दे विल कम. असली में जो मज़ा आएगा उसका अलग वो है. धन्यवाद सर.
धन्यवाद।
So we'll move to that side, sir. This is some picture which attracts where Jesus Christ is also there at the back. So
Yeah.
where is this Germany?
This is, one thing very interesting about the Dalai Lama is that he interacts with different faiths quite closely and very genuinely.
Yes, yes.
So here I was traveling with him in Germany when in 2008, he was invited to 7 or 8 cities of Germany. And through this travel, I was throughout with him as his photographer. And here in one of the cities, I think it was Bamberg, where he was invited to a local church. And the local church had organized some local school kids to interact with Dalai Lama.
Yes.
And it was really surprising, and I am always impressed when I see him mixing up with every age, people of every age, and he feels very comfortable with anybody.
Anybody, yes.
And just you see that here he is.
Yeah, he's
with
playing,
small
actually playing
school
with the
kids.
small children.
Yeah, they are nursery school kids.
And they are so excited. Children का
Yeah.
चेहरे पे सब नजर आ रहा
And
है
you can
बच्चों.
see he himself is
Yes.
laughing, and they are also laughing, and their kids are excited. That shows that he is.
Yes, we can see that motion in that.
Yeah.
Lovely.
This photo is very special for me because I have seen Dalai Lama meeting people from all walks of life, from all races, from religions, from different countries, societies. And I am surprised to see that, number one, he makes everybody feel very comfortable, very quickly. So people feel comfortable with him and quite involved. And many times people who love him, they feel very overwhelmed by his presence.
This lady जो सामने है.
If you see this lady, I was watching, it was a European group at McLeodganj in Dalai Lama's residence. And there were many groups, more than a dozen such groups who had come to see him. And this particular group, when I noticed them, and I was attracted by this lady, the young girl, whom I saw that her face was changing continuously with different emotions. She was so overwhelmed by
Yes,
Dalai Lama.
yeah, very emotional.
I took 72 pictures
One single.
focused on Dalai Lama and this lady.
Yes.
And this lady changing her moods
Yeah,
continuously. And at the end, after at one moment she was crying, and then slowly at the end it ended with a big laughter.
वो जो खुशी के आंसू.
So
Beautiful.
So for me it was a very good observation
Yes,
as a
yes.
photographer.
Perfect. ये हम वो जो ज़िला.
Yeah, here
This
I
is
was-
also unique.
That was in 1980 when we were traveling on the highway from Kargil to Leh, and
And इधर काफी बर्फ पड़ी हुई है मुझे लग रहा है. But Dalai Lama is in a simple attire.
no, that is summer.
Summer.
Time.
Okay.
And in Ladakh, summer is quite a mixed. At some places it is quite cold, but
Right,
otherwise it is very pleasant. So when we arrived at Jozila, so there, like all tourists, we all stopped, and
Lovely.
he was standing.
Yeah,
at
these are I think very special memoirs जो आपका journey with him. It's beautiful.
So here he is meeting in
Jammu,
Srinagar.
Srinagar, right?
He went to a community of Tibetan Muslims
Okay.
who had migrated from Tibet to Kashmir because
They've adapted now. They've adapted to.
originally their families
Yes.
came from Kashmir to Tibet.
Right.
When China occupied Tibet in 1951,
Yes.
and after that the situation became continuously quite bad, and then many of those the Muslims, local Muslims, they escaped from there, and many of them decided to settle in Kashmir.
So they are his followers.
Yeah, and they were, Dalai Lama was speaking in their own language because
Yes.
they were all speaking Tibetan language.
उनका वो चेहरे पे दिख नजर आ रहा है. This seems to be he at work.
Yeah,
Dalai Lama.
he at his private,
Yes.
in his office work.
उनका वो जो I have seen him, so that very, that glow जो चेहरे पे इनके रहता है.
So this is another image which I had when he was addressing a public rally at Choglamsar near Leh, and in the audience you will find the Tibetans who had gathered to listen to him. And this picture is on a black and white negative, and because this negative is now more than 45 years old.
Yes, yes.
So one can feel
Yes.
the wear and tear.
Here we can see that
And the grainy.
granular वो जो.
Yeah.
It's more like sand. It's sand type का appearance आ रहा है.
Yes, yes, yes.
He's looking after some.
So here he is initiating the drawing of a sand mandala. At the time of some, this is Avalokiteshwar Chakra initiation. So in the very beginning stage, they make a sand mandala of colorful sand, and this is the moment
he has
when he
his-
initiates that. So later on, the other monk artists, they will take over,
Right.
but he is starting it.
Starts. ये भारत में उनका
In
वाराणसी.
In Varanasi, he visited the Brahmakumari Center,
Oh,
where they received him and he had an interaction with them. As a photographer, I discovered him through the candles. It was a very
वहाँ पे
interesting.
पीछे we can see दीदी लोग जो बैठे हुए हैं.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
So it was a very interesting perspective for me.
He's sipping his.
Yeah, one time I had the privilege of about 4 or 5 hours personal sitting with him, and as we were discussing various issues, in between his attendant would come with hot water mug for him, which he sips quite regularly.
Right.
So this was a very
Pencil
very
note.
interesting camera study of.
Yes, very that true.
This is another camera study which
Yes.
while at one stage I was with him for an interview, we were discussing, and suddenly I discovered diffused light coming from a window falling on one
His
side of
forehead,
his
yes.
face. Yeah.
He's been able to capture that.
I like this.
It's lovely. It's very nice.
Dalai Lama has been always very techno-savvy.
I find him in that
Yes,
also.
he has written
Here also.
in his autobiography, he has written that as a child, he used to, many times, he would even open up the watches which were gifted
Yes,
to him
yes.
from various countries.
That was the earliest when, we used to have those watches and खोल देते. वापस नहीं उसको कर
No,
पाते थे.
this is what he
He
used
did.
to do. He would open different equipment and then would fix it back. That is what
That is the talent.
So in this picture, I was quite impressed when I saw he was talking to a group of people. He came and sat on a little higher pedestal on a chair, and I was sitting down. And then I suddenly discovered the simplicity of, number one, the slippers he's wearing, and secondly, his feet.
Yes.
Look very, very normal of a normal person.
As I read, it says a press conference at Sarnath. उसमें लिखा है.
Yeah, he's.
So he's addressing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This is a picture where he is going through a news magazine.
Yes,
at
yes.
his home in the morning.
And all these pictures, I find one thing is that सामने वाले को नहीं पता है कि आप फोटोग्राफ ले रहे हैं. जैसे मतलब that is the उसका जो रहस्य है.
No, because he gave me a photo sitting which was quite of
Right.
long duration.
Yes.
And there, when I went to his house, I asked him, because when I was a little, because it is the Dalai Lama's house, It's a protected house.
Yes.
He had some attendants around, and I had my own hesitation that I didn't know how much
You
freedom
can-
of movement
true,
I had. So, because he's very kind to me, so I very frankly I asked him, Your Holiness, can you please tell me how much freedom I have to move around with my camera in your house? So he said he looked for a moment. He looked around and then he suddenly discovered his cat in one
Oh.
corner, and he tells me, as much freedom as that cat. Is it enough?
Oh God, it's so nice. That means you are free to
Yeah.
go anywhere
So for me,
and come back at home.
becoming Dalai Lama's cat for a few hours was
Yes,
a very
yes,
great
blessed.
privilege.
A blessing, you know, it would have been a blessing that time. Lovely.
Yeah, this picture would definitely the Chinese would jump at it.
Yes.
Because here in at one place in Ladakh, he is being given
Guard of honor.
guard of honor by the ITBP contingent.
Yes. Beautiful.
So here he is giving sermons at Zanskar Valley of Ladakh.
That time he is speaking in that language.
Yeah,
the local language.
There he speaks because the language is same.
They will only understand.
Yeah, Ladakhis understand
Yes,
Bhoti language,
yes,
which is, they call it Bhoti and it's Tibetan.
Lovely.
So
He's playing some music, I don't know.
No,
Beating the drum,
this
is
is
it?
a great social reformer aspect of the personality of Dalai Lama.
Okay.
When he was traveling in Ladakh, when he arrived in Leh, he in 1980 he was received by the local community, by the local monks, and as tradition had it, there was a group of musicians
Yes.
who were there to greet him, and these musicians belong to a community called Beda.
Okay.
So their Beda community have the responsibility or role of providing music on all occasions, whether it is a religious occasion, somebody's marriage, some celebration, some festival, or some sad event also.
Right.
So they do. So when they played their music, and then Dalai Lama, as his habit is, he would catch hold of anybody. So he caught hold of one of them and
Yes.
started talking to him. And he was holding his hand, and this guy started crying.
Oh. We can see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then Dalai Lama asked him, what was it? So then he said that you are holding my hand, and the reality is that the other monks, the lamas, they don't treat us respectfully. And we are almost treated as untouchables. They don't come to our house. And so Dalai Lama was shocked to know. He didn't know that this was happening. So then he asked him, okay, what they are doing is they are doing.
Right.
I would love to come to your house. Will you invite me? And this guy was thrilled. He said, yes. He said, okay, then I will also eat at your home. That is his
Yes,
way of
yes.
handling the issue. So then Dalai Lama went to a Beda's house, and he took a very
Yes.
highly respected
Center mein
Rinpoche,
jo baithe. Yes.
Kushal
yes.
Bakulaji.
Yes. Yes.
And this monk was at one stage a very, very high Lama, Gandhentripa, belonged to the Namgyal monastery.
Right.
He took them with them. So it was something very new for the Ladakhis, seeing the three highest Lamas sitting in a
At the
Beda's
Beda's
house.
house.
And the Dalai Lama played the drum in their own way.
Perfect.
So that was a clear message to other Lamas. And I think there was a
Uplifting, that is.
yeah, this made a difference
This
in
made
the
a
social
difference.
status of the Beda community in Ladakh.
Yeah, everybody would have been, I think it would have made a lot of news in
This
the
is
local.
one of my, I would say, one of my most loving pictures. His Holiness had invited me to his private house for a photo shoot, and I was just getting ready. I opened my bag and tripods and trying to find lenses and fix lenses, and he was waiting for me.
Yes.
As he was waiting, I suddenly rose my head to see, and I was surprised to see him standing in front of the house, big window. The For me, it was a gift.
Yes.
A photographer's gift, because I couldn't have never asked him to pose for this picture.
Yes, yes.
No?
And I could see that
And he's standing
in
normally.
his hand, वो माला भी है, beads.
Yes, his beads are
You
there.
can see his-
And just behind him is the Kangra Valley.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Because the shape of that area is such that where in any window you stand in
It will be
McLeod,
visible.
it looks like as if this is the beginning point of Kangra
Okay,
Valley.
right, lovely.
That is the beauty of that
Yes,
place.
yes.
So this was
This is a kind of a masterpiece.
I would say
unique.
I call it photographer's good luck pictures.
Yeah, your delight, photographer's
So
delight.
that was my good luck.
True.
I was traveling with Dalai Lama.
This
in,
is, I feel
Germany,
like
and
a
this
cameraman's,
is at Berlin. You just see how many cameramen
Yes.
and so much crowd.
we won't be able to count the lenses. It was,
And luckily in this you can see anybody's face and identify even the last person in the crowd.
what camera have you used here?
I forgot.
It's okay. Some,
So
maybe one of these Japanese.
look, cameras are cameras.
No, means I'm saying,
Many times you do it deliberately. Sometimes
yes.
just out of luck.
because this picture, today also if you take, I just bought one small, Sony. उसमें वो आएगा, लेकिन I remember कि जो group photographs होता था ना स्कूल में, when
Yeah.
your entire, so this is more like, here also you say, I observed that कि everybody is visible.
Everybody in focus.
मतलब अगर ये फोटोग्राफ उस टाइम में प्रिंट हुआ होगा लोकली सपोज, तो दे वुड हैव केप्ट इट कि दिस इज वन प्लेस, सब लोग हैं इसमें. इट्स इन बर्लिन.
We have gone through everything.
And this is Madam Indira Gandhi. Yes.
We have completed here.
Yeah, this is the New Delhi Tibet House. Yes.
Right.
Lovely. This one we can
We have already
captured this, and I think that one we had already captured.
Yeah.
We'll come to this second for a second here.
Yeah, then we'll.
Yeah, we'll just come. I'll just take you to this cartoon of Vijay Kranti.
This wall is Vijay Kranti wall,
Vijay Kranti wall.
because the whole show,
Yes.
this whole show is my personal experience.
Please stand here, sir. सर ये आपको एक मिनट में पकड़ा दे रहा हूँ, मैं भी इनके हॉल ऑफ फेम में आ जा रहा हूँ. ऐसे ही पकड़ना है आपको. I'll also join him in his hall of fame.
So you see the wall which you are watching here, I would say this is Vijay Kranti's wall.
Yes.
Because this photo show is based on my personal experience of Dalai Lama over past 50 years. And this wall, in addition to giving an introduction to my photographic work, it
says my half century.
Yeah, my half century with Dalai
और
Lama.
इसमें मैं ये पिक्चर दिखाना चाहूँगा दर्शकों को, जबकि मैं उनको बोलूँगा प्लीज कम टू द गैलरी, बिकॉज इसमें वो आपको नहीं पहचान पाएंगे आज के विजय क्रांति.
Yeah.
Is that also you?
No, that's my son.
Okay, that's your son.
The interesting part is my elder son was 8 months old
Oh,
in 1977.
ये आप ही हैं?
This is me.
You had big hair, hippie.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So
Good.
we took the baby
Ah.
for His Holiness blessings. My wife is
Yes,
with me.
yes, the family.
And interestingly, in 2016,
Oh,
His Holiness visited my photo exhibition, which happened incidentally at IFACS again.
oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
And
Perfect.
so at that time, His Holiness, because my family members were there.
Yes.
So my son was also there. So here you see two pictures when the baby is
There and
8 months old.
Yes.
And he is 40 years old.
Lovely. Oh God, it's a real journey, I think.
So this was my
With
first,
family, वो बड़ा मुश्किल है.
yeah. This is my first photo with Dalai Lama, my father, my mother,
Oh.
me, and this was during
So
our
everybody is been part of the journey.
Yeah,
whole
when
family.
there were occasions when I had a function and His Holiness comes to my photo exhibition.
Yes.
Then my parents and my
Are
family
also
members
here.
are there.
Yes.
And this photo you will see
Yes.
This belongs to 1975 when I was married. My wife is with me.
This is
So,
कहाँ पे? What is the location?
the location is Dalai Lama's home
Oh,
in Dharamshala.
McLeodganj. अच्छा.
We on our honeymoon trip, we decided to seek blessings of Dalai
Lovely,
Lama.
lovely.
So my wife took
Traditional attire she's wearing.
my wife took her wedding dress,
Oh,
and I was also in my wedding suit.
lovely,
So
lovely.
we went. This is a picture of that
Yes,
time.
yes, lovely. So as we see here, it is all Vijay ji से हमारी बात हुई है. Although it talks about his life, and this is a cartoon by Ajit Menon.
Yeah, Ajit Menon was a great cartoonist, and
Yes,
lucky
yes.
I'm lucky that he was my colleague for many years at India Today. And once, when I received the KK Birla Foundation Fellowship for my work on Tibet,
Yes.
it involved some money also.
Right.
So Ajit Menon was excited, and because of my link with Tibet, so I am riding a yak. Because I take pictures, I am carrying a camera. I am a reporter, so I am carrying a notebook.
Lovely.
And then, of course, the KK Birla Foundation Fellowship money.
So he's shown
That's the-
there.
yeah.
That's the prize money. So lovely. Thank you. और मैं सब दर्शकों को बोलूँगा जो भी ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं कि प्लीज कम हियर एंड whenever the next time विजय क्रांति जी is going to exhibit, तो हम आप लोग को पहले इनवाइट करेंगे. Thank you. This is Sanjay Agrawal signing off. दोस्तों नमस्कार, मैं संजय अग्रवाल और अभी हम विजय क्रांति जी की जो आईफेक्स आर्ट गैलरी में लगा हुआ है दलाई लामा के साथ उन्होंने 50 साल उन्होंने उनको ही हैज़ नोन हिम वेरी क्लोजली. और मैंने अभी कुछ पिक्चर्स देखी थी जिसमें विजय क्रांति जी के जो बेटा हुआ तो व्हेन ही वाज अबाउट मेरी गोदी में था जब भी वो, और 40-50 साल के बाद भी दलाई लामा ने उनको आशीर्वाद दिया. इनकी पूरी फैमिली मिली हुई है. हमारे साथ एक इंजीनियर है एंड ही इज़ अ व्यूअर टुडे टू द गैलरी. उनका स्वागत है बनिंदर सिंह जी. तो बनिंदर सिंह जी सत श्री अकाल. आप थोड़ा सा बताएंगे आपको कैसा लगा विजय क्रांति जी
यहाँ पे
का?
हम पहली बार ही आए हैं.
हाँ जी.
और यहाँ पे दलाई लामा जी की साइनस को देखा हमने.
यस.
एंड आई जस्ट सीन हाउ last 50 years have been depicted here so responsibly, and it is an immense pleasure that I am here, and I'm just ogling at the photographs and just trying to digest what is being stated from these photographs.
उसके पीछे आप मुड़ेंगे तो देखेंगे याक है.
Yes, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Yes.
His love for animals is also depicted in other photographs also.
right.
So he's very calm, very composed, and it is a pleasure. I would really request all your viewers to please come over here and have a look, and
Thank
please
you so
bless
much.
this whatever is happening here. Thank
मैं आपसे
you.
पूछना
Thanks a lot.
चाहूँगा कि आप मैगलोडगंज धर्मशाला कभी गए हैं?
नहीं सर अभी नहीं गए,
अच्छा,
but
मैं-
it is on my list and I definitely
मेरा तो
will go there.
98 में हम लोग ड्राइव कर रहे थे
जी.
तो उधमपुर पे एक्सीडेंट हो गया गाड़ी
Oh,
का.
okay.
फिर हम लोग को ड्रॉप करना पड़ा. बट इसको देख के तो मेरे को लग रहा है कि
बिल्कुल सर,
कल
बिल्कुल.
सुबह
This is a must place to go
ब्यूटीफुल.
once.
एंड एनी अदर पिक्चर जिस पे आप अपना कुछ कमेंट देना चाहेंगे? ये देख रहे हैं
One
जैसे
photograph
हाँ.
where we can see His Highness
Yes.
working with tools. So this is one interesting fact, that one is not only saying something or preaching something, one is also learning new things.
Yes.
So this is to come to the new generation, that you
Right.
have to work on yourself, get educated and do something best for yourself, your mother nature, and best of luck.
नॉट ओनली द स्पिरिचुअल लीडर, वो अपने हाथ में वो भी लिए हुए हैं टूल्स
Tools
शेपिंग
भी है. Yes, yes, yes. Shaping.
डेस्टिनी ऑफ हिज पीपल.
Yes, yes. This
Lovely.
is something great.
ये आपने
Yes.
नोटिस करा. एक चीज मैं
Thanks.
आपको दिखाता हूँ.
जी.
आइए, ये वाला विजय जी ने बताया मुझे.
जी.
दिस इज ए मंडला.
Okay.
यू मस्ट बी फैमिलियर. तो मंडला दलाई लामा, उसको कोई भी मंडला जब बनता है तो उसको वो फाइन ट्यूनिंग कर रहे हैं,
जी,
सैंड पे है ये,
sand पे.
तो वो मतलब अपना टूल
He's working on it.
यस, देन इट विल बी फॉर्मलाइज्ड,
Okay.
बिकॉज वो जो एक इनकी सेंटर में पेंटिंग लगी है इसके पीछे,
जी.
आप देखेंगे, आइए प्लीज कम.
Sure, definitely. It's a pleasure to
Yes.
come to such places. We can see respected Indira Gandhi.
या इंदिरा गांधी जी हैं वहाँ पे. ये जो है ना, दिस इज वन मंडला, एज विजय जी टोल्ड मी. तो वो जो मैं आपको इसलिए दिखाया, तो ये वो देखिए दलाई लामा मतलब इधर तो खड़े हैं और उधर वो खुद ही बना रहे
खुद
हैं.
बना रहे हैं. Okay.
सो दिस इज समथिंग वेरी यूनिक.
Yes, it comes in his personality of being a peacekeeper and a torchbearer
यस,
for the minorities. So myself also being a minority, so for the universal minorities, we salute to whatever. what
मैं
he
तो
has been
माइनॉरिटी में आई एम अ जैन.
doing. Yes. Oh.
तो मैं कल रात को सपना ले रहा था
जी.
कि जैनिज्म वाज वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट रिलीजन्स.
Agreed.
राइट. देयर इज ए प्रूफ दैट द कैलाश मानसरोवर पे भी जैन मूर्ति
जी.
है,
जी.
बिकॉज जैनिज्म गोज बैक बिफोर शिव जी, और जो शाकू वंश है वो उधर से आता है.
My God.
आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू.
In Sikhism, we respect Jains a lot.
Yes.
Because during the wars in Sikhism with the Mughals, the last two kids over 10th
Guru.
Guruji, their
Jains.
cremation was done by Jains.
Yes.
And Jains were the most respectable people and most rich people probably at that time, जिन्होंने standing gold coins पे जमीन लिया था for cremation, and in return they never asked from Sikhism anything, they never asked from Guruji anything. So this is a huge salute to Jainism.
मैं बस,
I'm so much blessed to be
So I was
discussing these
thinking
things.
yesterday कि suppose somebody में एक वीडियो देख रहा था जिसमें it says that Jainism was ancient, you know, जैसे बद्रीनाथ जाएंगे, केदारनाथ जाएंगे, तो I was just thinking कि अगर Jainism को minority से हटा दिया जाएगा, because India what happens कि minority status में I write
The last
Agrawal.
of the minority
Yes.
status inclusion was Jains.
Jains.
And if we go to Jama Masjid area or Chandni Chowk area, we see the Lal Mandir of Jains,
Jains.
where we
आप
have
अंदर
the
गए?
Asians, one of the
आप
biggest.
अंदर गए?
हाँ, मैं मंदिर गया हूँ, 2-3 बार गया हूँ, और वहाँ पे एशिया का सबसे बड़ा बर्ड्स का
Yes, वो भी है,
hospital
hospital है, beautiful.
Great work you people are
Nice
doing.
meeting Baninder ji.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.